All right. Hello. Hopefully this is recording. No. Today is just more of random thoughts and updates. Um, it's been a big week of networking locally, so it's been very exhausting. I don't know how telemarketers can do it. Constantly reaching out to people, having 10, 20-minute, hour-long meetings here and there. Just you book up quickly, and then you're just, even though some of them or most of them are in Zoom, well, I should say all of them are in Zoom, none of them are in person, but just a lot of scheduling, keeping in mind, preparing, stuff like that. And it's cool. I'm getting what I wanted, building relationships, so on and so forth. So very exciting times that way. There's a few projects moving along. That's pretty cool. Keep it vague for now because want to show you something. Things tend to teeter off just because of either stages or whatever. So it's like I want to tell you I'm doing something, but at the same time I don't want to tell you that, give you the idea it's gonna be like done in a day or something. It's gonna be a while, but anyway, I'll totally announce it when it's ready. Things that I want to talk about again is last week I spoke with a friend of mine who's very environmentally friendly, and we were just both spouting off how we agree that the mindset of gardening is hilarious. So I'll attach a link to this that talks about a video where I'm just kind of going. The concept of landscaping your house is astonishing, and I'll make this version quicker. But we're just kind of saying that it's maddening to buy a home. You're very proud of it, but in your soul you don't care about your yard. You probably care enough at some point if you want to have kids play on it or something like that. But there are a big chunk of people that just don't. Yet they spend money on gardeners to upkeep it. Now, I think the notion is resale value, but you might as well just pay like a big chunk at the end when you want to sell the home. Like, it's just weird. It's weird that you hire somebody to like do this thing that you don't really even care about. You don't. It's not like you go and you go, oh, and you sit on the grass or you lie on it or something, or you don't even care enough that you want to do it yourself, which is way more satisfactory. So we just thought that was kind of funny and hilarious and crazy because it's like you're spending money and wasting on energy on something you don't care about when you could just go native plants and you bring all this nature to you because one, you probably don't have fake grass, or astroturf grass, uh, or your gardeners aren't pruning everything down to where animals can't stay or hide or live in. And so you actually get a more worldly vibe. You actually feel like you're in nature when you don't do upkeep on your yard, when you let the leaves fall and the grass die and stuff like that, because it all becomes mulch and it all helps the world go round, the ecosystem, a cyclical thing. So it's just very interesting that we as a people, and I think I mentioned in the gardening video also, is that we strive to get away. We live in a city and then we go on nature hikes. Yet when we have little bits of land, we want to make it suburban. And it's just kind of like, well, why don't you make it nature? Why don't you just let the trees grow out? Why don't you do this? And then we're talking about views and stuff, and he has like a little patch of view, and I'm like, yeah, I just feel like this little ocean view here isn't worth you know cutting down all these trees and making your neighborhood hotter and stuff. This little piece of view, you know what I mean? Like, even the homeowner that will buy the next house, will he really be like, oh, I mean, it's an excuse. Oh, okay, I got an ocean view. But then it's like, who knows? Our views got blocked years ago because trees miles away grew tall, and there's nothing we can do about it. We can't say, hey, trees mile away, you're blocking our view. So it's just weird, like, that people fight for this little patch just so when they do a resale thing, they can be like, look, like, you have a little sliver of ocean view or something. It's like, just grow out the trees, have fun with it, have nature, have birds fly around. Then he gave an interesting tidbit, two pieces that I want to talk about. One, for all you Christmas lovers or believers, or Christmas tree lovers, I should say, doesn't have to do with the holiday. you can actually, some nurseries allow you to rent a tree. It's a smaller tree, but it's still alive. It's not cut down at the root. It's everything's still intact, and so you can either give it back and or buy one and replant it somewhere. So I thought that was really cool because with 7 billion people, it's kind of not in the best interests of life. You know, it's an old tradition to be cutting down a tree and having it in your house. It's a great thing. I love the tradition, but I'm just saying 7 billion people, you know, theoretically all cutting down, I'll say like what, 5 billion or, you know, Christmas Christian people. And so it's like 5 billion trees getting cut. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot. It's a lot just to have a happy feeling. You know what I mean? And that just kind of goes back to selfishness if we can't at least find a compromise. So I thought that was interesting that you can like rent one and all that. And then the other thing was that I found out, depending on your neighborhood, maybe you can even start it up. You can have like certain nonprofits that have to do with like land conservation or native plants and stuff will kind of give you a placard or at least guidelines on how to correctly make a native sanctuary, native plant sanctuary. So it becomes an animal native plant sanctuary, which I found to be really cool. You know, it's like they will tell you ways to like flourish your environment, you know, allow animals to come and do that, because you know we don't want to be a species where it's just us. Like, I'm sorry for all you people that don't want the bears or coyotes to come to you. We created a system where we put trash in a trash can. Animals have every right to dig through wherever they smell food, you know what I mean? So unless we find a better system, we can't gripe. We went into a turf where there's bears or coyotes. We have to commingle. We don't get to conquer. That's selfish. So anyway, I just thought those two things were interesting, to become like a animal nature sanctuary type thing and get kind of known for that, and then also finding ways to not necessarily, you know, enjoy a Christmas tree without just, you know, without just being selfish. You know, I kind of feel like, especially 2020, we're living in a world where we're more selfish, you know, various reasons. And so the thing that I kind of want to leave with, which is random topic too, is that the other popular thing that I spotted was that people want to, you know, who wants to change, or who wants change? We do. Who wants to change? Nobody. I thought that was a clever thing that I saw. And then the other one was like, wait, you have a pandemic and all these things that allowed you to create change and you want to go back to your old ways? Lame. And I thought that was another impacting, like, you know, visual that I saw, because it's like those are two truths. It's like, I found from my own data collection that 100% majority of people do not want to put in effort for change, yet they want it. So that's sad that as a species, we can't better ourselves. It's like, wait, you're asking me to put in a little bit of energy? No, sorry, can't do that. Then the other one is people are like, I want the old ways. And it's like, what? Gross. Like, who wants that? You know what I mean? And this is coming from somebody who would want it to be the old ways. You know, like, I want to keep certain traditions alive and stuff like that. But it's like, I've learned that, you know, the only constant is change. Or I keep forgetting that expression. The only change is constant, or something like that. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. And so it's just like, and I had to accept that. So anyway, I just thought those were food for thought things, you know, for all you people that want to try a little bit, be some nature lovers. Realize that you don't have to put in the effort. If you don't like gardening, then don't do it. Just put in some native plants and let the thing grow and grow naturally, and just leave it alone. You don't have to pretend like we live in this world where we're controlled. Got to spruce up my house, you know, blah blah blah. So anyway, enjoy.